guys, thank you very much. This Pro Graphics once again, and today I'm coming to retouch this particular image. I'm not the one who shot this image, one of our brothers, Slam Photography. I'm going to leave a YouTube link in my description, and you can also follow him on YouTube. Okay, so guys, let's begin with today's tutorial. But as we proceed, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, try your best to subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's proceed with today's tutorial. Okay, let me delete this one. Then let's make duplicates as we always do by pressing Ctrl J to duplicate this particular image. Then let's zoom a little bit. As you know, mostly when I'm doing my retouching, I do take off my the blemishes before I continue with my frequency separation. So I'll come to the spot and healing brush, then I'll reduce the brush a little bit, then I'll start taking out the blemishes. Okay, so guys, follow me very well. And in fact, the reason why he released this particular image is this image is on a retouch challenge. Yes, it's on a retouch challenge. So when you follow him, you'll get to know the package for this particular retouching of this image. Okay, I think the blemishes are not that much. Okay, so guys, the Retouch Pro is over here, but today I'm going to use this one, the Pro Flow X, and retouching this particular image. So I'll start with my frequency separation. Okay, so I'll come to my frequency separation. Then my blur is 10. Let's take note of this particular number, 10. Then I continue. So guys, follow me well. I'll be taking my time and I'll speak in an extent that everyone can hear me very well because of the beginner's sake. If you're a beginner, you can also follow the steps, and you should also look at the tools that I'm using, and I'll tell you what the tools that I'm using, what it does. So please follow me carefully. Okay, so I'll come to the blur, and always what I do is I take off the texture, then I come for my mixer brush. You take the brush, and I come for my mixer brush, and always make sure that when it's like this and you begin to paint, you see that particular color on the face of your model. So that's not what you are going to do. So you make sure that you take this one off, and always this one is checked, and you check the percentage for your wet. Sometimes I use 10, sometimes I use 9, depending on the image that I'm retouching. So when you are using the mixer brush, basically the reason why you use the mixer brush is mixing the highlights with the shadows and the midtones. So we are going to do it according to how the model's face look like. So over here, the more the image looks plastic, right, the more better it might be when you add the texture to it. So guys, you should be able to also control your brush size. Okay, we are preparing to get a graphics tablet because it's not easy using the mouse in retouching. In fact, our brother did very well in taking this particular image because it's very sharp, very sharp. He has done well. Okay, so guys, follow the procedure. Okay, so let's bring the texture and let's see what we have done so far. Okay, so you can see before, after, before, after. So you are still blending. So let's look at this side. Let's blend this side very well. Good. Okay, let me reduce the size of the brush. Let me take off the texture once again. Then let's continue with the retouching. Guys, practice and consistency make one perfect, so please, you should always practice and you become a pro one day. We are all learning. We are not saying that we are pros, but you are all learning. So guys, okay, so you take your time, do it. Now, because of the necklace, when you are doing this one, you need to be very careful so that the colors of the necklace doesn't pop up in the skin. So you should be able to control your brush. Okay, so when you press on the space bar, the hand key will come, so the hand icon will come so that you can pan it around. Okay, so let me reduce the brush. Then remember, we are mixing the highlights and the shadows so that there will be some kind of uniformity. Okay, so let's bring the texture and let's see what you have done so far. Let's see before, after, before, after. Okay, wow. So let's zoom out a little bit and let's look at the before and the after. Before, after. Now, we are not going to make this image look plastic. If you have followed me for some time, you know how I retouch my images. I don't want my images to look plastic. I want it to look natural as it is. Okay, so you come to your laser tool. The laser tool is also used in selection. So the beginners, please take note of some of, when I start with the tools, I'll tell you what the tools is being used for. The laser tool is also used for selection. And when you come over here, if you want to do double selection, for instance, you can see that's when you are using this one. Okay, so when you come to this one for single selection, after you have applied whatever you want to apply, that's the end of it. So I'll select here, and always when you are selecting, make sure that you set your feather. Depending on the image. Sometimes I use 15, sometimes I use 20, depending on the image that you are retouching. So you come to filter, then you come to blur, then you come to Gaussian blur. Now there's a technique over here. Remember, when you are applying the frequency separation, the blur was 10. So over here is ×2 or ×3. When you do ×2 and you think it's okay, you leave it over there. But if you move to ×3, and which is 30, and you think it's okay, you leave it over there. So let's see, ×2 of 10 will be 20. So let's try 20 and see. Let's zoom in if you still can get the texture of the skin. I think it's okay. So let's see 30. Okay, 32 is okay. Let me zoom out. Does it look too plastic? Let's see 20. Okay, I think it looks the same. Okay, let's use 20 for this particular image. Then we come back over here. Then we do the same selection over here. Then let's apply. You come over here, and please don't think only if you have the, let me redo this thing. Don't think only when you have this Flow Work Pro before you can do this. If you are also using the Retouch Pro, it can do the same thing. So it's just a matter of understanding what you are doing. That's all. Okay, so go here. Let's come to the neck. This one also helps in blending the skin texture. Okay, so this one you have to do color grading for this particular image, because when you look at the face and you look at the skin, the colors looks different. So we have to do something about it. Okay. Okay. Make sure that the skin texture, you are not going to lose the skin texture. Very, very, very important. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's come over and let's look at the before and the after of this image. Okay. So before and after, before and after, before and after. Okay, so guys, let's try to do some small color grading on this image before we continue. So let's come over here, then we come to camera raw. Basically, I use the calibration aspect of the camera raw most of the times for my color grading. You can also come over here to the colors and tweak it how you want it to be. It depends on how you want it to be. Okay, so someone can choose to use this ones for their color grading, come over here and do whatever they want to do. Yeah, but I sometimes want to push from this end. That is a calibration. Okay, I think that's what I did. So let me come to the calibration and let me begin to calibrate, and let's see. So let me push the shadows a little bit, then push the reds a little bit, saturations up a little bit. Let me bring the before and the after so that you see what we are doing over here. Then let's see the greens, push in the greens a little bit, the saturation, then bring it down a little bit. That is the blues. Going to the other side of it, you get a little bit of red, so you can see that. And I think with what I'm having now, I'm okay with it, because comparing here and there, you can see that there's a much difference that we have done so far. So let me click my OK. So guys, you can see. Now guys, I said it the other time that whenever you are editing an image and you come to the skin tone, or you come to the skin as it is. Now let me show you something. Looking at this one, when you look at the color over here, is different. Like the color on the face is different from the color you get on the skin here. From here, when you compare, it's different. So sometimes it's good for you to do color grading, and when you do color grading and it's fixed your problem and you think you are okay with it, you can leave it like that without adding any skin tone. Take note of that. So when I added this one, we think that there have been some form of uniformity between this one and that one. Now let's continue. But we are going to apply some skin tone over here and make the image pop out a little bit. So what we are going to do is, let's come over here. Those have followed me, so let me name this one color grading. Okay, then and on this one, Control E. Then let me name this one. Okay, let me leave like that. I'll name the skin tone. So we'll come over here, select solid color and press OK. Then what you are going to do is, you come here and you select your levels, you add it together. Then let's group this one. Control G will group that, then we name it skin tone. Let me do it in capitals. Skin tone. Okay, so I'll come over here, then invert this one so that I can see what is behind, or better still, I can come and make it soft light so that I can see what is behind. Okay, so over here I'm going to invert it so that I will choose a color on the face with what we have now, so that it wouldn't look too much different because we have done our color grading. So you come over here, then choose the bright part of the skin, the bright part of it, not too bright, like the highlight, to get your skin tone over here. So I will choose this, and we can adjust it. So there's no means to fear or to worry. Okay, so let's come over here, then let's create our clipping marks, then invert this thing back again, so you can see it has changed the entire image. So what we are going to do over here is we are going to adjust the levels to add some dimensions to our image. So where we feel there should be a little bit of highlight, we do that. The midtones and the shadows, do something like this. Now this is how we want our image to look like. And if you see that the image looks too colorful, you see how best you can manage it so that everything will be appropriate. Okay, so I always tell you that when you are retouching, please don't, number one, don't be in hurry. Number two, though you are working within time. So if you have taken the contract to work for a client, you should make sure that you give the client an ample time of which you can give the client a perfect work. So two, when you're editing, you shouldn't rush. You are the one working. And listen to me, when I'm teaching online, I'm not trying to impress anyone. I will do it as it is so that we all learn from some of the petty mistakes that we do sometimes when we are retouching. Okay, so what we are going to do is, let me come over here, then we begin to apply it on the face alone, because that is what we want to do. We have named it skin tone. So you come and select this one, press Ctrl I to invert it, and when you did that, you can see there's far difference over here. So you come and click over here. Once the your mask is black, you should know that your brush should be white, and we change it from mixer brush to your brush itself. Then you begin to paint. Now remember, we have turned it to soft light. So let's paint. And you should be able to control your brushes. Okay, you should be able to control your brushes. Okay, so we are painting, and when you are doing this, please take your time doing it. Okay, so okay, so you press on S to invert this thing to take the skin tone out of the eyes. So let me reduce it over here. Take the skin tone out of the eyes. Okay, then press on X again on the keyboard. Then you work on that. Okay. So take your time to give your model a better skin tone. Okay. Okay. So guys, because of the necklace, we need to take our time to do this. So bear with us. Okay. Let me increase the brush. Paint here. Okay. I'll do some small light one over here with the hand, so that. Okay. The reason why I did that, so that the palm wouldn't look different from the face, because if you look at the color that is popping up over there, it's not matching with the face at all. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, let's come to this side. So let's paint. Let's paint. Let's paint. Let's paint. Good. Okay. Okay guys, so if you see the skin tone that we have applied, it looks too loud. So what you are going to do is you come over here, then you reduce the opacity. Reduce the opacity to the time you get what you want. So let's see 38 before, after. 38 is looking better. Okay. So let's see before, after, before, after. Let's continue. So what we are going to do is, let's reduce it once more. I think 30 will be okay for this image. Then come over here, Alt Control Shift E. Then we go back to camera raw. Then let's do some light adjustments over here to compensate whatever you are doing. So let's lift up the shadows a little bit. Then let's bring out the brightness. That's the exposure. Okay, let's push the white a little bit. Then the clarity. Now let's do some color corrections over here. Let's come to the oranges. Then let's push it down a little bit. Then let's also tweak the greens a little bit. Then let's push the blues small. Let's come over here. Okay, then let's see if you can push the oranges small, make it reddish. No, let's push it small. Okay, so let's look at the before and the after. Yeah, you are getting something better. Okay, so let's see the blues. Okay, see the blues. Then let's see the reds. Okay, okay, so let's come back again and let's push the shadows a little bit, like 15. Okay, I think It's okay now. So what we are going to do now is we are going to do our dodge and bend. Our dodge and bend to this particular image. So you come over here, you choose your curves, then you push it down, then you name it bend. Then you come again, you take your curves again, then you push it up. It should be a moderate pushing, okay? Then you name it dodge. Okay, so you group these ones, then open. Let me push these ones up a little bit. Okay, so you invert this one, Control I. Then also invert this one, Control I. Then you come over here. When I'm about to do dodge and bend, the black and white adjustment layer is the guide that help me to differentiate between the shadows and the highlight. Okay, so I come to the black and white, then I crash down the reds over here. Good, good. Okay, then I come to the dodge. The dodge, always I put my flow sometimes 100%, then my opacity of the brush to 9. Press, then I increase the size of my brush, then I begin to paint. Okay, so I'll paint over here. So if it's black, then if the your mask is black, your brush should be white. Let's take note of that. Let me zoom in so that we can do this. Okay, so okay, so wherever we see highlight, we paste it over there. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So you can see. Then let's come to the bend. So the bend, we bend where the shadows are. Okay. Let me reduce my brush. Come over here. And looking at this image, when you give it a melanin skin, it will be nice. Okay, so you bend here, you come and bend here, you bend here, you bend here, you bend here too, you bend here. Let me reduce here. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so let's take off our black and white and let's see what we have achieved so far. So before, after, before, after. Okay, you always know that I don't do dodge and bend, then I leave my image without adding the black and white to it. So the black and white, I come to multiply, and guys, just imagine having a melanin skin. Just look at this one. Let me zoom in. Press it, then you add some few touches to it, guys. Okay, let me reduce it over here. Okay, Now what I want to do is I want the focus should be on the skin and on the face. So I'll come down a little bit, again, Now what is happening over here is that the image is looking a little bit dark, okay, with the scarf and everything. So I'm going to add a glow to it, like I'm doing the dodge and bend again. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want the focus to be more on the body. So I think 14 is okay. Let's see, like this. Okay, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have the glow. I think I have a glow over here. Okay, so I think I have skin glow. I have something like that over here. Yeah, I think it's over here, skin glow. So continue, stop. So I'm going to bring the black and white again to be my guide. Then I'll still crash the reds. Then I'll come over here. Then let me choose this one. Now let me increase the opacity to 100% because I would be able to reduce the opacity. Then I begin to apply the glow. Okay. It's not easy using the mouse. Sometimes I want to have a small impression, but immediately you click, bam, then it just take off just like that. So let's highlight glow here, reduce the size of my brush, glow this side too. The impression should be down here. Okay, do light over here, then come over here. Okay, a little bit here, then small impression. Okay, so I glow here. So let's take off the black and white and let's see. So guys, let's see from the glow. Okay, so if you feel it's too much, you just come to the glow, bring the opacity down a little bit. So let's see, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay guys, so from here what I'm going to do is, let me take off this one. I want to see all the layer panels that I have created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some few blacks to the image that we have retouched so that it will pop up a little bit. Okay, so add some few contrast to it. I'll come to selective color, then I come and choose the blacks. Then let me scroll down, then let me punch it down small, a little bit. So let's see, 2 will be okay. So look at something before, after. You can see it as even, you can see the eyebrows very well. Okay, so you can see. Okay guys, so from here let's move straight to the teeth. You don't have a teeth, you should not say her teeth, sorry. Let's go to the eye whitening. Then we do some few touches over here. Okay, so eye enhancer. Okay. Continue. Okay. Let me reduce the size of our brush. Then we're going to enhance over here. Okay, reduce the size of the brush. Come over here. Do the same thing here. Reduce it here. Okay. Come over here. Do the same thing here. Okay. Do the same thing here. Okay. Okay. We do the same thing here. Okay. Okay. So we come to the iris. Let me increase my brush. Then let me paint the iris. Let me paint this one too. Okay. Paint it well. Come over here. Then add some few color to it. If later I feel it's too much, I can just I can just reduce that by reducing the opacity. Okay, so let's zoom out and let's see what we have done so far. So I think the iris color is too much, so let's reduce it to this. I think let's come down. Okay, so okay, okay, let's look at the enhancement over here. Let's do some few adjustments. Okay, reduce it a little bit, then come here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I add some small touches to the mascara over here. So let me come to the adjustment layer, hue and saturation, then push it a little bit, then invert it, then I begin to paint. Okay, so okay, okay, begin to paint like this. So guys, you can see, let me group all these ones, group, and let's see the before and the after of this image. Before, after, before, after, before, after. So let me come back, then let's do the before and the after again. Before, after, before, after. But guys, with this particular image, I can't close this tutorial without sharpening this image. So Ctrl or Shift E, then I come to filter, then I come to others, then I come to high pass filter, and then let me see, 2 wouldn't be okay. Let me push it a little bit. Let me see, let it come a little bit. I think 4.0 will be okay for me for this particular image. Then I come and change it to soft light, as I used to do. Either the hard light, it looks too harsh, you know. Vivid light also looks too harsh for me, so let me use the soft light. So with the soft light, you can see before, after, before, after, before, after, So guys, thank you very much for following this tutorial. If you find this video to be helpful, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave the photographer's YouTube link inside my description, so that please you can follow him. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day. And remember, it is Pro Graphics. Bye bye.